Hey kids on the ridge, happy Friday, the end of spring break, but you know what? We're continuing with our stories about Paul and how he was talking to a Roman official named Felix. Now, how did he get there? Well, I don't know if you've ever been accused of doing something that you haven't done, but it doesn't feel very good, does it? Maybe someone said, hey, you took my toy, or that's my pencil, or whatever, but you're like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, Paul probably felt like that because he got taken to Felix and he was accused of stirring up trouble and doing all these things that he didn't do. All he was trying to do was tell people about Jesus and how he came here for us and he died on the cross for our sins so that we could live with him forever. And you know what? Paul made the best of the situation. He was able to talk to Felix for a long time and to lots of people about Jesus. And we're going to learn more about that in our Slapstick Theater. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Kids on the Ridge.
Slapstick Theater. Paul and Felix. This is Paul, who told people about Jesus in lots of different places. Many of the Jews did not like what Paul was doing, so they made a plot to kill him. Since Paul was a Roman citizen, he was taken in by the Romans, so they could find out what the Jews had against him. Paul was sent to Felix, the governor at Caesarea. The Jews brought their case before Felix. They said that Paul was a troublemaker and was stirring up riots among the Jews all over the world. Then Paul got his chance to speak. He said that he was not stirring up trouble at all, and that these men couldn't prove the things they said of him. Paul said that he believed everything in the Jewish law, for he was a Jew himself and a follower of Jesus. Then Felix concluded the council and pushed it off until someone else could decide the case. He ordered Paul to be put in prison, but his friends could still visit him and take care of him. A few days later, Felix and his wife, who was a Jew, sent for Paul. Paul told them all about his faith in Jesus and the truth of what Jesus said. Felix became afraid and sent Paul away.
Go away!
For the next 2 years, Felix would call Paul before him and talk with him often. Felix hoped that Paul would bribe him, but that did not happen. After 2 years of this, Felix was replaced by a new leader. Felix wanted to gain favor with the Jews, so he left Paul in prison. Paul would go on to have many more trials, but through it all, he continued to speak the truth of Jesus.